Hi love, hello and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta, I am a healer, and this is the reading for the Sun in Cancer on the 20th of June. So when the sun moves in Cancer is also the time of the summer solstice, and that reading will already have been up. And Spirit has been talking about this summer solstice and the dynamics that are going to be following as stepping into an age of wisdom, the beginning of the age of wisdom. The notion being that based on all of the work that we've done and how we've grown and how we've evolved, we're coming at a time where we're ready to live out the benefits of that. We're ready to start living in a different way, in a way that is a lot more wise. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in this reading. And I invite you to look at the summer solstice video specifically for more information on that. So I'm going to draw a couple of cards because this energy of the Chariot is Cancer energy in the tarot. This is the Crowley tarot. And it's an archetype, and it's amazing, but I just need a little bit more so I can place it. And we've got embracing enthusiasm. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. And we've got in the flow. That makes perfect sense, especially with this specific, unique illustration. So this is the Chariot, and the Chariot is a card of transcendence, of multidimensional growth and evolution, and it's also a card of the path. And for me, it's also the card of how we as a soul reach certain life goals. And so when it's showing up like this with all these energies, there's a message for you directly who's watching this. And it's a message that I could not share with every single person on the planet. It's very specific to those of us who are in alignment with the ongoing healing process here on the channel, who are part of the soul group and who have been working on our paths of soul growth and soul evolution for however long. I'm just laughing because it's depicted. This is literally someone who's been working on their soul growth and soul evolution. And so for those people, there's a message that you're now on a golden road based on the work that you've done. This is someone who's wearing an armor of gold, and it's speaking into a relationship to the self that is golden, that has been alchemized, transmutated, and made into the most noble metal. There's crystals here for clarity. And then there is this compass here that represents the heart center. So there's the ability to be guided by the heart center. There's following the guides, following higher guidance, and making this shift that you've been working. It's like you've been working to put yourself on the right path, and you're on that path now. You're in alignment with your process, you're in alignment with your journey, and so whatever comes now is going to be you living out that alignment, you continuing on that path, continuing on that journey, and manifesting things accordingly. And now I was talking about life goals that are in alignment with your soul. So there is this energy of you now being prepared and able to manifest and experience the things that you have wanted to in this life, because you're in the right soul alignment. You're having the right soul-led, heart-centered experience, and so now it can manifest. And so for those of you who've been trying to manifest things, make things happen, create that business, launch that product, create this project, to build this kind of relationship, to have big life goals, right? Get married, have kids, maybe buy a home, those usual things, maybe graduate, but there's always been something in the way. It's just never been the right timing. It's just never been the right kinds of people, the right kinds of places, the right kinds of dynamics, and so on. That's because you were in another part of your path. You weren't in the age of wisdom. You are someone who is intended, divinely intended, even destined, I would say, to have those experiences, to reach those life goals in the age of wisdom, in the age of now and onwards, in the energy of the new, very much. And I do like it because I just did the other reading where we were doing the full moon reading, and there was this message that is going to come out in a couple of days, actually, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Ooh, there is something about the future. But there was this message about how these shifts and changes have to be contextualized within the evolution of humanity, and it's very much coming here in this summer, in this energy where what you're embodying, it is the evolution, the human evolution, and where we're all going, and you're intended to live it first, right? And again, to be a parent, to be a spouse, to be a teacher, maybe a police officer, to be seeing someone who helps deliver babies, a doctor, a nurse, also to do things from this space of wisdom, and that's very transformational. So that's the greater picture here. In a more specific level, you're coming into a time where you're just going to shout to the heavens with happiness. And this is Spirit saying, when you see these butterflies, there's this notion of you doing things in a revolutionary way, but not in order to revolutionize, but just based on who you are and how you function and what's true for you. And that's the process that you've been in. But it also means that when you start doing things in these kinds of ways, you're going to be so happy with the outcome. It's like if you do have a child and you're raising that child now, you're going to be so happy with parenthood, motherhood, fatherhood. You're going to be so happy with it because it's going to unfold in a way that is fulfilling to you at the deepest level. When we see enthusiasm at the heart, and historically, enthusiasm was a religious experience. It was like, when you see people in churches where the Holy Spirit hits them and they're going into what we would call a trance, I guess. It's like that. And this is you coming into a space and place where these experiences they can be quite mundane, or at least very worldly and very earthly and very practical and very common experiences that everybody has, or most people have, right? We're all someone's child, and then a lot of us are going to be someone's parent, and a lot of us are someone's sibling. Those kinds of things, very common experiences. But this is you being able to experience them in ways where you're just so fulfilled inside. Your spirit is dancing with joy, shouting to the heavens, thanking Spirit also for your process. You're really going to come into a space of place because they're looking towards a process where the transformation is going to be something that, I'm just seeing someone just like bowing down to Spirit, just bowing down with so much gratitude, like, oh yes, this is the best thing ever, thank you so much, Spirit. Yeah, there's this recentering thing that happens. Thank you so much, Spirit. I couldn't have imagined it better. I couldn't have done it any better. This is the exact right way. This is the exact right thing, and it's fulfilling to me in a way that I can't even fully explain, because it does come from a space higher than that, higher than me. It's fulfillment on a higher level. Yeah, literally, this person is flying. Everything's smooth sailing. There's also on this path, when you hit that path on the other side of the threshold, there's smooth sailing here. There's smooth movement forward. Now, the Cancer energy is water energy, and for me, the highest level of the water energy is awareness. We're in the element of awareness, and so awareness is not like consciousness. Consciousness begets awareness. So consciousness is to know. So you can know that smoking is bad for you, for example, and still smoke. But when you're aware that smoking is bad for you, you do not smoke. You have a cigarette, you can feel the smoke coming into your lungs, and that's how you quit smoking. So it's like that. There's an energy here where you used to be conscious that you were being taken care of, that you were in the flow, that you were on this path. Now you're going to be aware of it, and it's something new. It's definitely a new awareness coming in. So it could be consciousness also at a higher level, but there's an awareness here that's very powerful, very spiritual, very enthusiastic. This is very summer solstice kind of energy, actually. Peak energy, I call it summer solstice. It's actually June solstice. It could be winter in the southern hemisphere, but it's this energy of culmination. We're at a time of culmination of energy, and it's an externalizing cycle. The energies are being externalized after we've been working a lot on ourselves on the inside or in higher realms. And so there's just this very ecstatic release, and it's all culminated with a very deep-seated, very anchored, very grounded awareness that all is well, that you're taken care of, that you're loved, that you're protected, that you're provided for by the universe, that all things are well, all things will be well. One more, okay. one more. This is, okay, this is something to look for. No. This one. Hidden in plain sight. Okay, we'll see how that works out. So, I'm going to set it aside a little bit because it was kind of different. We've got our Four of Swords. Yeah. Peace. Setting some things to rest. Some things you're just never going to worry about anymore. Okay, I had more cards than I realized. We have the Knight of Swords. We have got the Two of Cups, of course. Of course. Which is Venus and Cancer energy. So it's also, it's the first decan of, Cancer. The first 10 days of Cancer. So like the last week of, the last 10 days of June. We have Eight of Swords upside down. Makes sense. And we've got the Star upside down. And again, I'm going to leave this one to the side for the last little bit. It's just a different kind of energy. I'm not sure why, of course. But we'll find out. That's the whole premise. Yeah. I love it. You're putting things to rest here at this time. When you step into this new space of awareness, and again, we have a soaring here with the Knight of Swords, which is new concepts, new approaches, new ways of doing things. But the Knight of Swords is also when we have clarity about how to approach things, how to go about things. We're not necessarily passionate, we're not necessarily emotionally invested, but we know it's logical, it's the thing to do, and we just get it done. Just do it kind of energy. And so with the Four of Swords here, there's a laying to rest of things that have been holding you back. And we're in the sword element here. So there's again this notion of putting to rest, like coming to terms with energy at a conscious level so that now you can step into greater awareness. And the Two of Cups is showing that awareness, which I love because it's even coming in the illustration with an eclipse. And eclipses are energies of tremendous, tremendous transformation. Eclipses are this kind of energy where what there was before, what there's going to be after is going to be different, completely changed. Like you can't go back from an eclipse kind of energy. And so this is the Two of Cups. And I feel like this is you and this is your life, or this is you and this is your life, right? And not necessarily in terms of your gender, but much more in terms of the feminine and masculine energy. There are some things, feminine energy, that are going to stay the same, some things, masculine energy, that are going to shift. And with things that are staying the same, you're empowered, you can handle it. With things that are shifting or changing, you are in allowance and you're flowing along with it. So there's this notion of you, and whatever shows up in your reality, you are in alignment with it. You're able to move with it. You're able to flow along, because you're flowing along, because you're seeing it from a higher perspective. And again, we have water energy, Cancer energy specifically, and again, this everything is smooth sailing, which just felt so much like an awareness energy, and it's talking about you dwelling in a different space, a different level. And when we have minor arcana energy, that's for me everyday events, moments, going about things. This is you just being so balanced, flowing with what's showing up, even if it's transformative, even if it temporarily blackens the sky. There's the ability to find yourself and to thrive underneath the skies, right? Underneath that kind of momentous and also temporary kind of darkness. Now, I'm not saying you're going to experience darkness in your world, but the darkness is representing the unknown. It's representing the transformation. It's true that when this happens, when we're in this kind of energy and we're passing the threshold and going into a completely different level of reality, we don't know what's going to happen. But this is a card talking about how this awareness that you're grounding is going to allow you to flow with it and to experience it in a very loving way, in a very harmonious way. With that, we have our Eight of Swords upside down. Tree representing life. Called rope being tied to the tree. So corde is rope in French. So I got the word in French. I didn't get it in English. There's a language shift. It's like the language where you thought to yourself or even perceived that you were bound by life, held back from things that you wanted to experience, that you wanted to create, that life was denying you in some way, that is coming to an end. There's migration, moving to different lands, to different spaces, and you being able to, with the Eight of Swords upside down, to avoid a very specific trap, which is complexifying. It's not that hard, it's not that deep, it's not that difficult. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right cycle. You weren't in the right energy. You weren't in the right vibration. It wasn't then, it is now. It's that simple. And it's about you being able to cut through that. And I feel like this is also, it's this awareness coming through, that the awareness is able to transcend a lot of mental noise that you used to have, where things seem so complicated. Like, for example, why is this job not working out? Well, it's because this, and then there was it's because my boss is this, and the pay is that, and the office is really far away, the commute is long, and my coworkers suck, and the lunch plan is really, really terrible, and so on and so forth. And I've tried to get a new job, but I just can't, because the economy, and I just have to stay there, right, tied by life. And this is where I know someone, and I have an in, and I gotta stay here. And so you're coming into this higher level of awareness. Wait, all is well. And everything that I was anxious about before doesn't bother me as much anymore. And I'm realizing that, wait, I'm just unhappy. I don't like it here. I don't like this job. And I can do something else. I can go. There's a different way of going about this. And because I know that I can do something else and I can cut through the anxiety, I know what to do. I need to write CVs. I need to look for a job. I need to get into my network. I need to da 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 da. Right? You know what to do, and then you can just go about it, because it's not that complicated. It's not that deep. It's not that mysterious. I don't like it here. I don't like my job. And there's even a deeper level that you're going to be aware of here with the star. It wasn't destined. It wasn't meant to be. There wasn't that meeting, that harmony between who I am and what I want to be in the world. I wasn't able to flow with this event, this thing, this relationship, this dynamic, because it wasn't the right thing. It just was not destined. And it wasn't destined based on the star upside down, who I'm destined to be. So I do feel like there's a sense here now, especially in this Cancer energy, where you're going to be very aware of you, and you in a sense of culmination, you in a sense of arriving into you, coming home into you, recognizing that. The star is also a connection to our higher self, an embodiment of the higher self energy represented here with, I believe it's an 8-pointed star, but usually it represents the higher self, right? So upside down, there's the you embodying the higher self, and ultimately there's going to be manifestations. It's going to go right side up, because we also talked about how this is an energy that's starting, that will be ongoing for the next couple of months. But in the full moon reading, if you want to check that one out, but there's an awareness also rising up inside of you, where you're so much more aware of who you are destined to be, the path that you're on, shaping and molding you into a very specific version of yourself, and being able to cut through all of the noise, all of the distractions, so you can really focus in on that person, that being, and embody it more, become more clear, more aware of it. There we go. This sounds amazing, by the way, and Spirit saying a lot of answers that you've been seeking for a long time will be answered in this kind of energy and in this time. So let's look at this card. What is it? What is it? We've got the Knight of Chalices upside down. Yeah, this is advice. Don't be emotional about this. Don't approach it in an emotional kind of way. Be very logical and be very, very straightforward at this time, which is very interesting, because again, we have the Cups energy. So it's not an awareness to move on and to act on quite yet. It's much more an awareness to be logical about, straightforward, meaning that it's like, if you realize I'm someone who values their work life, who values where they work, it really matters to someone like me, then it's not a matter of you diving into that trying to understand it, trying to look into it, or even trying to navigate according to that. It's much more that you take it at face value and go, okay, so what do I do about it? There's an energy here that wants to be active, and the Knight of Cups talks about kind of dwelling. Yeah, dwelling. It's like it's the wrong kind of movement. Yeah, you don't want to move too much in accordance with this new sense of self because it's evolving, it's becoming. But you do want to move in accordance to the things that are clear and the things that make sense. It makes sense that, oh, I hate this job. I couldn't see it before, but I hate this job. That makes sense. But I am someone who values their work life and who needs a very unique work life. That's less clear. And that's not what you need at this time. It will come, the card showed up, and it will come again, energy that will be right set up. You'll be able to gain that clarity later on, but it's just not for now. It's not the way to move forward in these energies and at these times. Stay in a lot of mental clarity. Again, stay in the awareness that is gifting itself to you. The awareness is here, it's growing. It's not yet your driving force, something that you navigate according to, but that time will come. So my love, that was the reading. Thank you so much for watching. That was fun. That was really fun. And I'm really happy to share these messages with you. So of course the energy work on the healing process matches this. We've been working with expansion energy since the 18th. The energy work is up. The messages are talking about expansion at this time here on YouTube, and the healings over on the healing space are matching it. And it's just all awesome, awesome messages and energy. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for your time, whether it's here on YouTube, whether it is in the healing space. It is all appreciated. Sending you lots of love. May you be blessed always and in always. And I will be seeing you around. Bye.